Okay, we've got the debut of the brand new Deathwatch Codex. We're going to go against the perfidious Eldar. The Deathwatch want to know more about this birth of this new ancient god, and they're going back to the source, the person who started it all, Eldrad. He's the man that they need to speak to, so they're coming in, going to try and take him alive if they can, but they'll just be happy with him dead also. So the mission we're playing is Resupply Drop. It's out of the chapter approved book. It's one of the Eternal War missions. So there's 6 objectives on the board, and at the start of turn 3 you select 3 and then only 1 remains of that portion, and then there's the other 3. When it comes to the second player's third turn, they do the same, so there should only be 2 objectives left on the board at the end of at the end of turn 3. So there'll only be 2 left, and each objective is worth 3 points each. And all secondary objectives are still in place, so First Blood, Warlord Kill and Linebreaker is still up for grabs. So the objectives, we've got one here, we've got another one just on the other side of this Void Shield generator, there it is. We've got a third on this side, just next to this watchtower, and we'll have to go on the other side of the table. Okay, we've got the other one just in front of the ladders there, we've got another one just here, and one deep into the heart of the enemy here, in amongst all of the support guns. Okay, so we have the return of the Deathwatch. Haven't played these since since one of the first games that were played in 8th edition, so it's nice to return to them. So we're using a battalion detachment, and of course with the new FAQ that's going to give us 5 command points, and we've got an extra 3 for being battle forged. So a lot of troops and not much else, because Deathwatch are pretty expensive still. Alright, so we've got the Warlord leading the army. It is the Watchmaster. So he's got the Warlord trait. It is Lord of Hidden Knowledge. Basically that's going to give him a free command reroll once per game, and then you can also reimburse stratagems on a 5, you get a command point back. So it's very useful to have that in any army, not just the Deathwatch. Then we've got second in command, we're taking Artemis, because he deserves to come out, he always does, he's such a good model. And then we've got a Librarian as well, so he's going to have Psychic Fortress and Veil of Time for Psychic Powers, because the Psychic Powers for the Deathwatch are just the same ones as the Space Marine Codex. Alright, now we've got 4 troops, very elite, very mixed, but this is just how I did the Deathwatch in the first iteration, so we're going to give this a go. Probably fold Primus Marines in time, but we're going to play with what we've got today. So we've got a big kill team here, so we've got all representatives in here. So we've got a bike, power sword on him, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ordinary bolter Deathwatch members, veterans, and then we've got an Inferno heavy bolter mixed in there. We've got 2 Terminators, incredibly expensive, but they've got Soul Cannon and a Chain Fist. We've got 2 Vanguard with Storm Shield and Power Maul each. We've got a Venerable Dreadnought at the back, he's got a Heavy Flamer on that Power Fist. We've got another bike in this kill team, again with a Power Sword. And then we've got veterans here, we've got 3 with Power Swords and Bolters, then we've got 2 with Combi Melters. And again, the most expensive Terminator out of the bunch is the Salamander one. He's got a Heavy Flamer, Power Fist with a Melter Gun underneath. So 3 Melter Guns in that unit. Try to bunch our Melter Guns together. They'll probably be taking a ride in this Corvis Blackstar, which we'll come back to. We've got a more simple kill team here. We've got 7-man unit, 4 heavy bolters, 3 stalker bolters. They're new additions to the army, so really looking forward to using those bolters. And then we've got a more hand-to-hand, in-your-face kind of kill team here. We've got 2 of the shotguns, got 2 frag cannons in there, and then we've got 3 Lightning Claw Vanguard veterans. And then the Sergeant, he's got a Plasma Pistol and Power Sword. So we've got 2 Corvus Blackstars in the force as well, so they both have the same upgrades. We've got the Storm, the Hurricane Bolters on each flyer, and we've got the Infernum Halo Launcher on each flyer as well. Probably not going to do much good against the Eldar with Bright Lancers just carve through the armour anyway, but what they would do is any other shots that might fire at them, going to get the reroll save rolls of 1, so hopefully that can come into play in this game if we get shot by any shooting catapults or lesser fire than AP -4. So you just got to take your chances when you're going against Eldar. It's deadly firepower. So this one's got las cannons, it's got the Storm Strike missiles, And on this one is the twin assault cannon, and then the Black Star launches under there. So really wish these flyers had power of the machine spirit. They take a big hit because they're always going to be on the move, and hitting on a 4 is a bit unkind to them really. So hopefully they can FAQ that in the future to give these power of the machine spirit, because they're supposed to be the most elite flyers in the game. That's why the Deathwatch choose them. So not to have power of the machine spirit is a bit sad, but hey, just gonna have to get on with it. So here we go. Right, and for our relic for the army, we're going to take the Tome of Ectoclades for the Watchmaster. It just means that with chapter tactics, or mission tactics as it's called for these, he can select a different one to the one that is active during the game. If you're within 6 of them, he can select a different one for everyone within 6, including himself. So you can have 2 mission tactics going at once within range of him with that relic. So it should work out pretty handy.
Right, so we've got 2,000 points of Eldar here. As you can see, it's Ulthwe, led by Eldari Ulthwe on there. And he has Fortune, Doom and Guide. Next to him is a Spirit Seer who has Quick and Restrain. And then we have 2 units of Guardians. One of 20, one of 10. One with 10 has a Bright Lance support. We've got some Wind Riders and a pair of Vipers. We have the Avatar. And we have some Wraithguard ready to ride in the Wave Serpent there behind them, which has Bright Lance, as you can see. We have a unit of Scouts, and we have some Doom Weavers, and then we have the Wraith Knight.
Right, so for the Ulthwe force, the way they've got the stratagems broken down, or the command points rather, 5 for being Battleforged, 3 for being Battleforged. They've got 1 because they've got a heavy support detachment. So these support batteries are individual, they're not a unit, and the Avatar's the HQ for that. And then of course they've got 3 for the battalion detachment, and the extra 2 for the brand new FAQ rules. So a lot of points there for Ulthwe to play with. And then Eldari with his Warlord trait, he can, at the start of every turn, including the opponent's, on a 6+, he can generate a command point for himself. Okay, deployment for the Deathwatch. We've got the Watchmaster. He's deployed on the table. We've got the Venerable Dreadnought alongside with them. We've got the Heavy Bolter team in this tower here, and then we've got a unit in Deep Strike. The Teleportorum rather cost us 1 command point to do, but they're ready to come into the game later on. That's the squad with the 2 Terminators in it with the assault cannons. They'll be coming in later on. And we've got the 2 flyers. So the assault cannon variant is on this side, and inside this one is Artemis and the Melter Gun Star squad. In the last cannon variant, we've got the squad with the frag cannons, and then we'll also have 2 teleport homers. We've got 1 deployed here, and then another one right on the other side of the table. You need this sort of tactic when you're using minimal units. So we've got another teleport homer over here ready to jump over to this side of the board in case we need to get there. Okay, the Craftworld Aeldari, they've put a unit in the webway, so they'll enter play during the battle at some point, and the rest of the force, they go down. So in the Wave Serpent, we've got Eldari and the Spirit Seer and the Wraithguard ready to go. Of course, the support batteries here. We've got the Rangers, they're deployed up on top of the boxes. And in front of the Rangers is the 10-man unit of Guardians with the Brightlands. They've been looked after by the Avatar. He's got a radius of 12. If you're within 12 of him, you do not take any morale chests, so he's good for looking after the Guardians. And of course, the Wraith Knight, he's ready to march on out. And then we've got the fast movers on the left here. So we've got the Vipers here, and then right down the other end are the 3 Wind Riders, so they're ready to move on out, attack the left hand side where the Deathwatch are a bit weak. Okay, so ready to roll off to see who goes first, and because the Deathwatch is such a small army, you do get the benefit of getting that +1 to your dice roll, because your force is always so small, it'll lessen your drops. So here we go, got +1 to this. Get a 4. Ooh, it's a 1 for the Eldar, so the Deathwatch will go first unless the Eldar can steal initiative on a 6. It's a 5. Ooh, close. Right, so the Deathwatch will go first. They will strike and strike fast. Deathwatch turn 1, so pretty much everything stayed still except this flyer has flown from out of the corner. It's getting a little bit closer. Right, so it's gone behind there. It's got as much cover as we could possibly give it. It's still going to contribute to the firefight. We've got this unit staying still. We've got everything staying still in the backfield basically. We did not bring our unit from Deep Strike in. Just going to save those. We did measure from the bikes coming down this channel here. Even if the turbo boosted, they still wouldn't be within 9 of the teleport homer. So just got another turn to breathe on that teleport homer before anything kicks off there. And yeah, oh yeah, the most important part. I was thinking, what am I forgetting here? What we're going to do is we're going to, at the start before any of that happened, we did play our mission tactics. So across the whole army, we're going to be playing the mission tactic for Fury tactics. So it's worth saying that these are the old cards. You don't get the new ones, but these don't exist in this edition. But these are the old ones. They work pretty fine. So Fury tactics. We're going to re-roll wound rolls of 1 against troops across the whole army for the rest of the game, unless we decide to change it. And then his Tome of Ectoclades. What we're going to do is we're going to play Malleus tactics, which means we get to re-roll filled wound rolls of 1 against heavy units and Lords of War. So as you can imagine, all of the Deathwatch guns are now trained on the Wraith Knight in the distance. So it is important to note that this flyer did stay still. This is the one with the las cannons and all the gubbins. So staying still. We've got our guns loaded. We've got re-rolls with the Watchmaster. So let's hope for some good luck on this night. We'll start off the shooting with this Corvis Blackstar, and obviously it's going to be going at the Wraith Knight in the distance. So to help us out here, we're going to do Malleus Doctrine, costs 2 command points, and we're going to be able to +1 to wound rolls against Lords of War with this flyer. So that's what we want to do. Let's see if we get the command point back on a 5. That is our Warlord trait. No, we don't. So that goes away. So 2 command points down. Let's see if it works. So we're going to do las cannons first. Because we stayed still, we're hitting on 3s. Got full re-rolls because of the Watchmaster even. So he gets 2 hits with the las cannons. Normally needing 3 to wound, but with that stratagem in play, 2s are required. We'll get a double 6. So you need to save on 6s with the Wraith Knight. He's only got 3+ save. He's got no invulnerable save this variant. So here we go, 6s. No, fails both. So 2d6 damage. What do we get? We get a 6 and a 4. That is very nice. We'll take that all day. So Ulthwe, they're going to have to get 10 dice. They need the foresight of the damned rolls because they can block wounds on a 6. So here we go, 10 dice needing 6s to block any wounds. Not a sausage. So that's 10 wounds straight away on the Wraith Knight. That's really good going from the fly. We've put all the stratagems and all of the re-rolls that we can together to make this happen, and it's paying off so far. So now we've got 2 Storm Strike missiles. Again, stayed still, so we're hitting on 3s. And we'll get full re-rolls because of the Watchmaster. So we'll get all hits. Right, these are strength 8, so they'd normally be wounded on 4, but with that stratagem in play, we're going to need 3s. Ooh, right, so we'll get a 1, which we can re-roll because we've got the Tome of Ectoclades in play, which can select a vehicle even to take mission tactics. So we've selected that, so we can re-roll 1s. Still a 1. And I think what we'll do is we'll use a command point re-roll to re-roll this dice. So we do wound after all. Right, so because we use command point re-roll, we're going to try and get that command point back with our Warlord trait. No, that one goes away as well, so we're down 3 points. Does the Wraith Knight save this on a 6? It's AP -3. Doesn't, and this is straight damage 3. That's why we wanted the command point re-roll that, because it does very good damage, this missile. So 3 dice, 6s will block any wounds. So he'll be down to 11 wounds if he doesn't get any of these. So he's got 1. What's that one behind the truck here?
Yeah, that's a 2.
That's a 2, right? So 2 have hurt him. So he's got 12 wounds left. Very nice work from the Corvis. Right, so far so good with the Corvis. Now we're going to look to the Venerable Dreadnought. He's got a double las cannon. He hits on 2s against this Wraith Knight. And he rerolls 1s because the captain is right next to him. Gets them both. Right, 3s needed against this Wraith Knight, but because we've got the mission tactics in play, we're going to reroll 1s with the Tome of Ectoclade. So 2 solid wounds on him. He needs 6s to save again. We're really hurting him here. 2 fails. Right, so it's 2d6 damage. We'll get the double 3. So yeah, we're happy with that. So you need 6 dice. You need to block these on 6s for Foresight of the Damned. Only 1, so another 5 wounds taken on the Wraith Knight. It's going well so far for the Deathwatch. I'm going to move on to the second Corvis Blackstar. So because this isn't in range of the Tome of Ectoclades, we're not going to have any mission tactics for him. But we're going to chop up our fire as follows. We're going to do the Corvid Warheads at the Vipers behind the wall there, you can see. We've got the Hurricane Bolters going to go after the Guardians just underneath. And then the Assault Cannons are going to go after the Wraith Knight. So we've got Hurricane Bolters at long range, not within rate of fire. So we've got 5 hits. I'm needing 3s to wound against these. So we've got 3 wounds on the Guardians, going to need to save on 5s. It's just a bolter.
So Celestial Shield on those, that's one stratagem.
Okay, Celestial Shield just means that they've got an invulnerable 4. So here they go. 3 wounds, save on 4s. All fail, and then they're going to need 6s for Foresight of the Damned to keep them alive. No, so 3 go down. Tried that stratagem, didn't pay off. Okay, so just to be perfectly clear, you need to pop that stratagem just before, well, as the targeted as a unit, but I didn't give them the chance there because I'm speaking too fast. So anyway, they've now got a 4+ invulnerable save. It's because he doesn't want to be getting shot by the heavy bolters anytime soon. So we're going to move on to the rest of the shooting from the Corvis. So we've got, the only thing left to do is the Assault Cannons at the Wraith Knight. So we've got 12 shots coming out of here. So we are a heavy weapon, and we are at a -1. So we're hitting on 4s against the Wraith Knight. And no rerolls available for us, but that is a good roll, just straight out of the blocks. 5s to wound, and again that's a really good roll. This is unusual for the Deathwatch. So 5 wounds there, saving on 4s. 2 go through, 6s to save again on Foresight of the Damned. Doesn't make either, so 2 more wounds. He's got 5 wounds left. We've never done so well on the Wraith Knight. Right, now from the Corvis Blackstar, we've got 2 Corvid missiles going straight at the Venoms, the Vipers. So it's D6 shots each, and there's 2 of them firing, so we've got 6 shots. We've got +1 to hit against flying units, so we're back to 3s because we're moving with a heavy weapon. And I need to roll more dice than that, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so there's 3 hits, it's strength 6, so we're needing 3s to wound, not a 1. Right, we've got the Wraith Knight reeling. He's only on 5 wounds left, so we'll need to finish him off to get him out of our hair. That will be a stunning first blood. So what we're going to do, this is the last unit that's able to fire, so we're going to do it as follows. We're going to have 4 heavy bolters at the Knight. We're going to have 2 Stalker bolters at the Guardians underneath, and 1 Stalker bolter at the Wraith Knight. So the reason why we're doing 1 Stalker bolter at the Wraith Knight, because we're going to use this Tempest Shell. Costs 1 command point. It's a special stratagem. If we're hit with it, it's D3 mortal wounds. So let's see if we get that command point back, because we've used that. We do, so that was nigh on a free stratagem there. And then also with 1 heavy bolter, we're going to do, what's it called? Hellfire Shells. So it's, again, that's a similar ability. If we're hit, it's D3 mortal wounds. So let's see if we get the command point back for that, since we're just on a roll here. No, right, so we do use 1 command point. And here we go. So we'll just do the mortal wound shells first. So we've got the Hellfire Shell from the heavy bolter. So see if it hits. He does hit, so it's just a straight D3 mortal wounds. Just 1. Can't re-roll it. So need to save on the Foresight of the Damned save of 6. No, it's a 5 in the distance there. We'll try the other mortal wound shell. So we're hitting on 3. we get it, so it's D3 mortal wounds. It's the full 3 this time. Right, you need 3 dice, 6s to try and keep those out. Not just one. He's got 1 wound left, so we're going to try and peg him with a heavy bolters here. So you've got 3 heavy bolters at the Wraith Knight. So hitting on 3s, and we'll re-roll them because of the Watchmaster is looking after them. So yeah, he certainly is. So we're needing 5s to wound, but we can re-roll 1s because of the Tome of Ectoclades in play. So we'll get 2 so far, and we can re-roll that 1, which we do succeed on. So 3 wounds, AP -1, so 3 dice, need 4s to save. Oh, fails 2, and then you're going to need a double 6 to keep him on the board and keep him in the battle. Double 5, close, but no cigar. Let's see if he explodes. No, it doesn't explode, goes down quietly. That's a big blow for Ulthwe, losing such a key unit. Right, and with the death of the Wraith Knight, that's massive. It's a massive first blood. So we've got that in the bank for the Deathwatch. There's 1 point ahead in the game. That's probably going to be really close. So really good work from the Deathwatch. That's unusual from them when I'm rolling dice, but we'll take it. We'll take it any day of the week. Okay, I thought it was the end of the turn there. It's actually not. Got too excited about killing the Wraith Knight. Forgot to do the 2 starter bolters at the Guardian. So here we go. We're using Hellfire rounds just to hit on 2s. Just to wound on 2s rather. So we get re-rolls because of the Watchmaster. And then wounded on 2s against the Guardians with the Stalker bolters. So we get 3. We could reroll 1s if we didn't choose that unit to have the Malleus Tactics.
Leaving 4s.
With the Tome of Ectoclades. So just 1, so you need a 6 to hold on. What was that? Just a 1, right? So there's 1 Guardian dropped from the Starter bolters. So that is now the end of the turn now that we remembered those extra shots. And Alright, Eldar turn 1, reeling off the loss of such an important asset. They're going to try and get in there and do the work anyway. So the Vipers, they're staying still. They're going to just fire their long range shots at the flyer. This is going to come under a lot of pressure now, this Corvis. All of the units back here stay still, of course, as you'd imagine. The Avatar's going forward with the Guardians, and then before this Wave Serpent moves, Eldrad and the Spirit Sea, they've gotten out and they've advanced to where their position is now. And then the Wave Serpent's pulled around the side here. You're going to get some clean shots on the Corvus Blackstar. So they've moved straight into Psychic Phase, but before we do, on a 6+, you'll get a command point back for Eldrad with his Warlord trait. Okay, so we're not going to be doing Eldrad's Warlord role because he actually did start in the Wave Serpent, and if you're in a transport, you're not actually classed as being on the board, so you can't do that unless you're on the board. I've just been corrected, so we'll not be doing that, but we will be doing his Psychic Phase. So he's already done a couple of powers. He's done Guide on the Wave Serpent, so that is now on rerolls to hit. And he's doomed the Corvus Blackstar as well. So all of the Ulthwe army are going to be able to reroll failed wound rolls against our flyer, so it's hated amongst the Xenos here. So he's also going to move on to Smite now from Eldrad. So because he passes that last Psychic power, he's going to +1 to his Smite roll. So he needs a 5, but a 4 will actually do in the end. And it's a Super Smite, double 6. Ouch. Right, so it's D6 mortal wounds for the flyer. It's only 3. We're going to play our own strategy and we're going to do Armour of Contempt. It means we can try and block mortal wounds on a 5. So we're going to try this now. Let's get these back on a 5, these wounds. We saved 1, so the Corvus is taking 2 wounds. Let's see if we get our command point back with our Warlord trait. We do not, so that goes away. We've spent another command point, but it was worth it, I think. Now Eldrad is going to have to take Perils of the Warp. So on a 2, he's going to take D3 mortal wounds, but on a 2+, he will ignore those with his Ghost Helm. So 3 dice, 2+s will save him. Yeah, mix them all. So Eldrad just does not fear the warp. Right, Eldrad can only do 3 static powers a turn. He wants to do another, so Eldar playing Unparalleled Mastery for 1 command point. Just allows Eldrad to perform another static power. He's going to go for Fortune, and he needs to pass this on a 7, and he's playing it on the Wave Serpent. So it passes on a 7, but because he passed his last static phase, he's got Spirit Link, so you'll actually need a 6. So he gets it on a 6. So this now has got Fortune played on it. What it means is this can shrug off wounds on a 5 now. So it's going to be extremely durable. Alright, we're going to go on to the Spirit Seer now. Is he going to smite?
He's smite, yeah.
Okay, so off he goes. Needs a 5. Gets a 9. So he's going to get D3 mortal wounds on this flyer. Let's see what he gets. It's the full 3. Right, we've still got our stratagem in play, which allows us to shrug off mortal wounds on a 5. Will it work? We do regain 1. So 2 more wounds on the Corvis. So we've taken 4 now off mortal wound attacks. So we've got 10 wounds left, I believe. Right, the Avatar of Kin, he's going to do the Whirling Doom at the Corvis Blackstar. It's on 10 wounds left, the Corvis Blackstar. If he takes 3 wounds, he's on his next tier. But the Avatar, very well, may take the lion's share off him. So he's Ballistic Skill 2, so he's on a 3, hitting the flyer. He does get that hit. It's basically a long-range melter gun. So he's needing a 3 to wound. Doesn't get it, but the flyer is doomed, so that can be re-rolled. Oh, doesn't get it in the end. Avatar. He's going to be wailing. There's no doom, but he's going to be wailing. Right, the Guardians firing now. So we've done the shooting catapults up at the flyer. They've done 1 normal wound and 1 blade storm wound. So we're saving on a 3 on the normal wound. And that's a fail, but we do have the Infirm Halo Array, so we can, or whatever it's called, we can re-roll failed saves of 1. What is that? That's a 4, that's good. And then we've got Blade Storm, that's AP -3, so we have to save on a 6 with this one. Don't get it. Right, so he's taken another wound. We've got 9 wounds left, and the Bright Lance will now fire. It did move, so it's hitting on a 5. Doesn't get it. Okay, so we're over here for the Wave Serpent. It's going to fire at the Corvis Blackstar. So what is going to fire first?
The Bright Lance?
2 Bright Lances, right. So it moved, so it's hitting on a 4, but because it's firing at something in the sky, it's hitting on 5s. With Fortune, it'll be able to re-roll 1s and 2s, because it can re-roll failed hit rolls. So re-roll 1s and 2s. Okay, just 1 hit, because it's hitting on a 5. Right, so 1 hit, needing a 3 to wound. Gets that wound, right, it goes straight through the armour at AP -4, so it's just straight roll on the damage. It's the full 6. Ouch. Right, we've got 3 wounds left on the Corvis Blackstar now. That's horrific blow. We could even very well be on our last bracket here. So we've got 3 wounds left on the Corvis. There's still 3 shots from the I'm going to call it a splinter cannon. It's a shooting cannon. So here we go, hitting on 4s with this. Can reroll failed hit rolls of 1 and 2, so reroll that. Yep, all hit. 5s to wound this time. 6s are nasty. So there's 2 solid wounds and a blade storm. We're going to need to save at least 2 of these, just to stay respectable. So the normal wounds, save on 3s. We roll a 1 and a 2. So we've taken a wound, we can reroll 1s because of our launcher. We do get that save. Right, so we're not going to die off these guns. And then AP -3 for the Blade Storm, need a 6 to save. Where's that gone? We got it right. It just takes a further wound. That could have been the flyer going down there. So we've got 2 wounds left on the Corvus. We're most definitely on our last bracket. We're in a sorry state now.
Do Serpent Shield.
Right, here comes the Serpent Shield then.
Then I'm going to play the 2.
So 2, oops, fell off the table. 2 plus the Serpent Shield that's failed. Command point reroll. This is a must.
I think so.
So the Serpent Shield does come off, right, so it's D3 mortal wounds with the Serpent Shield. Just 1. What we're going to do is we're going to play Armour of Contempt again, because it only lasts for a phase. We did it in the Psychic phase, now we're going to do it in the Shooting phase. So again, it costs us a command point, but it's well worth trying to keep this flyer alive. Let's see if we'll get our command point back for using that on a 5. We don't. Right, so that's gone forever, but as long as we roll a 5 to ignore this mortal wound, we'll be happy. Here we go. Pray for the Corvus. Ah, it hasn't worked. Alright, that's 1 mortal wound. He's on his last wound now, and we know that Serpent Shield could fire up again.
Which it is.
And it is. So overloaded shield projectors. The Serpent Shield will fire again.
Need a 2.
So it comes off on a 2. He rolls a 1. The Corvus Blackstar has made it through such a terrible time for dice rolling for the Ulthwe. So just to give a breakdown on why he's used the Serpent Shield so early and doubly, if he just brought that down, he would have been able to fire these guys at the passengers on board, and then soon followed by the artillery. So every unit that hangs on, it's stopping them from firing at the interior squad. So we're going to go down to the Vipers now. They're going to tune up their guns. 12 shots hitting on 4s, and that's a lot of hits. So 4s to hit. So 3. Right, so you're needing 5s to wound, and you can reroll failed wounds against this flyer. So 5s, but 6s will be ideal. Well, there's 1 6, and then these can all be rerolled because of Doom. Even that one. Right, so there's 2 wounds that we'll have to save on our normal save, and then a 6 to save on a 6. Here we go then, 2 normal saves on a 3. We get them, and then we're needing that lucky 6 again. No. Ooh. I'll tell you what, we're going to use our command, our warlord trait to reroll a failed save roll. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try for a 6 here. Ah, it wasn't worth it. So the plane, I think, goes down. We have to check. Yep, so the plane is definitely on its last wound. So does it explode? Does not explode. So it's going to go down, and the squad is going to have to check for casualties, and then we're going to have to get them out. Corvis is going down. We've got 9 guys on board. Any ones going to cause tears. Right, just 1-1. We're going to live with that. Okay, so the Deathwatch have piled out of the crashed aircraft with 1 less brother. So the 2 characters are here behind the wall, so the snipers don't get them, but the rest of the squad is free game for the artillery and the snipers. So we've made sure we're out of range of a charge for the avatar, and it's worth saying that we do like to keep wrecked vehicles on the table. Just adds a bit more character to the game, as long as it doesn't affect what's going on. Okay, so the artillery has fired into the nearest Deathwatch squad, of course. So to help them out as well, they use the Vol's Might, I think it's called, stratagem. Means you can reroll 1s to wound, so for 2 of those batteries. So it was a pretty poor performance from them, but this is what happened, and they shot the 3rd battery without that stratagem in play. But all in all, 3 batteries are fired. We've got 1 Blade Storm result on them, and we've got 4 basic wounds. So we've been instructed to take the nasty one first. So we're going to have to take this on our extremely expensive Terminator. So he's got an invulnerable 5 save, but he makes it all the same. We talked up his worth. Alright, here we go. He's saving the other 4 wounds on 2s. So we're going to do these 2 at a time. Alright, he's failed a wound so far, and I'll tell you what, we're just going to command point reroll that. We've only got 2 command points left, but we need to try and keep as many of those guys alive. So here we go. Let's see if we get that command point back. We don't, so that's gone forever. We're down to our last command point now. Let's see if we save on that 2. Yes, we do. Right, so he's fresh so far. He's got 2 more wounds to stomach. Mix them. Right, it goes untouched. Beautiful stuff. Right, last shot for the Aeldari this turn. We're going to have 5 snipers fire down at the squad. This could be dangerous. So we're hitting on 3s, gets 4, and they're wounding on 4s, but any 6s will make us cry. Emperor's tears. But not a sausage. That's a quadruple 3. It's not what the Eldar wanted to see. It's been bad for the Eldar. It's been very bad. Okay, so the Eldar are going to finish up this turn with a heroic charge. The Avatar's out of range. He can't get involved. The Guardians could try and wrap this unit up, but I can see them from the back end of the squad, so there could be overwatch. So what Eldrad is going to do, he's going to take the bull by the horns. He can't be seen. If he gets in here on a 7, it'll tie these up in combat, and then it'll allow the Guardians to get in without being overwatched. So Eldrad, he needs a 7 to get in, and there's no overwatch because we can't see him. He only gets a 5, command reroll in play here. Needs a 3, only gets a 2. Right, the Eldar despair with that roll. They're going to have one last chance. The Spirit Seer, he's next to Eldrad, he's going to try and get in. He needs an 8, however, and he only gets a 5. Alright, so I don't think the Guardians feel brave enough to go in and tackle.
The Guardians in.
The Guardians are going in. Right, let's see what they get then, and then we'll do our Overwatch. Well, they'll definitely be in, but let's hurt them with Overwatch. We've got a lot of bolt guns, but we do have a heavy flamer, which is the most important bit. Right, so the Guardians have made it through the Overwatch. It turns out I can only fire 3 bolters at the back around the corner there. It was a very tight shot. Don't kill any. Got some good saves. But now the Guardians are in, there's 6 of them, they will fight. We tried to squeeze in a character on Heroic Intervention, but the Guardians have blocked the path, we can't get any characters in there. So, the Guardians to fight, there's 6 attacks there, they're going to hit on 3s. So they get all but 1, and then wounding on 5s against the Deathwatch. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty good. 4. We'll take these on the Terminator. If he dies, then, you know, then he deserves to die, because he's going against Piddly Pansy Eldar here. 2s to save, and we've saved them both so far, and then the last 2 saves them both. Right, brave attempt from the Guardians, but now the hammer will fall. Alright, we've got the Deathwatch to fight back now, so they've piled in, and there's a lot of attacks coming these poor old Guardians' way. So we've got 2 guys with combat blades, or chain swords, but we're calling them combat blades because they're on the belt. So they've got 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, and rerolling 1s because Artemis is on standby. So only 2 hits, not very good. Wound on 3s, so there's 2 wounds so far, and then we've got 7 attacks with power weapons because we've got power sword here. Sergeant's got a power sword, Bike's got a power sword. 3s to hit. Reroll 1s because Artemis is around. And so these are the 2 that wounded already. Right, so 3s to wound with power swords, and then reroll 1s because that is our Fury Tactics in play, army wide. Okay, that is much better. So we've got. We'll just do these currently. So we've got 2 attacks to save on 5s on the armour. So make 1, fail 1, and then Foresight of the Damned for the one that didn't make it. So lost 1 so far. And then there's now 5 to save on Foresight of the Damned because these are just carved through your armour. No, that's the whole squad down with just combat blades and power weapons. The Terminator, 2 slaughter Izzy's first. Right, that is the end of the combat phase. The Eldar just trying anything they can just to wrap that squad up because they're the ones with the melter guns. They don't want them to fire at the vehicle or even the avatar or even the characters. But now they are loose. Guardians tried and failed to slow them down. No consolidation from the Deathwatch. We don't want to go into the vehicle because we'll want to shoot with our weapons, which is what the Eldar were trying to prevent. So it's been a terrible first turn for the Eldar and a very good one for the Deathwatch. Right, Deathwatch turn 2, they're going to try and turn up the pressure now on the Eldar. So we've got the Dreadnought, he's stepping around this side, he's going to try and get a shot on the Wave Serpent. The Watchmaster is coming round just to be on his shoulder there, giving rerolls. Again, the squad here is going to stay still. So it's our mission tactics are still Fury Tactics, we haven't changed those since the first turn. And for this occasion, we're going to use the Tome of Ectoclades, we're going to use Elite for the book, his relic book. So anyone within 6 are going to be able to reroll wound rolls of 1 against elites. So hopefully we can get to the Wraith Guard. That's in an ideal world. So this Deathwatch squad, they've surrounded this Wave Serpent now. We've got 3 combi melters ready to go there. We've got a smattering of other weapons too. We're going to try and take this down. And the Las Cannon Corvis Blackstar's flown from all the way to the back of the battlefield right over here. So it's right next to the Avatar. We're going to try and peg him off with the blistering weapons from this. And then Artemis and the Librarian, they've moved round this way to get to the two characters of the Eldar. I'm going to throw a stasis grenade when the time comes. I'm going to tell Eldrad to deal with that, see what he can do. He's got good defense against the Eldrad, but we'll see what happens. This Deathwatch team come in from the teleportation. It's a full squad. We're going to try and take away those bikes before they become a nuisance. We're just trying to slow the Eldar down. Hopefully when the objectives start revealing themselves, there won't be a problem because they'll be dead. So they're in a good position, central in the battlefield there. The Deathwatch are going to try and turn the screw now, see if we can cause even more pain on the Eldar. Right, I'm going to start off with the Venerable Dreadnought. He's going to fire his double las cannon at the Wave Serpent. So he's going to hit on 3s because he moved. And he's hit with both. We're needing 3s to wound. We only get 1. So it's 7 on a 6 with the Wave Serpent. It's got armor save of 6, so here we go. Doesn't get it right now. It's D6 mortal wound, not mortal wounds, just D6 wounds. Just the 1. But he has got Fortune in play on the Wave Serpent, so on a 5 he's going to ignore that, but it doesn't do it. Okay, so first wound on the Wave Serpent. Alright, so firing the squad now. We've done all of the other bolt guns and heavy flamer up at the scouts, killed 3. But now it's time for melter guns. So we've got 1, 2 on the Power Fist and 3. So 3 melter guns firing on the Wave Serpent, 3s to hit, and re-rolling 1s because Artemis is in the shadows over there within 6. Oh no, only 1 hit with the melter gun. 3s to wound, gets that wound. Goes straight through your armour, so the best of 2 dice will take the 6. So you need 6 saves of 5 plus, because your Fortune is in effect. No, sorry about that. No, you've used your Serpent Shield yet, so as we were. Okay, so we're under the tank again. Just 1 save. Quality stuff. There's 5 wounds put on the
6 total.
Wave Serpent and 6 in total, so we might be able to charge that and finish it off, perhaps. Right, 7 wounds left on the Wave Serpent after that, so it's any more wounds and it'll be on its second tier of damage, so we're going to have to get it done in close combat. Right, we came over here for some shooting. We did all of this Deathwatch squad at the bikes and only managed to kill 2. A bit of a sackless roll from all of those guys, and must still be feeling the effects of coming through the warp when they've teleported in. So still 1 bike remains over there, and then we're returned over here. We did all of this squad at the Wave Serpent, and then we did vengeance rounds from the Stalker Bolters, giving us AP -3. Very nice. We've stripped this Wave Serpent down to 4 wounds left, so it's just teetering. We've done some good work on it with this squad. Right, the Watchmaster fires a vengeance round from his Mastercrafted bolt gun at the Serpent shield, at the Serpent, but saves on a 6. Gets it in the end. He was saving on a 6 and got it, so saved himself an extra 2 damage from the Watchmaster. Right, so we're coming over to the dangerous stuff now. So this Wave Serpent's on his last 4 wounds, so we're probably going to have to do that in combat. So we're left with just Artemis and the Psyker. You're probably wondering why we didn't do the Psychic phase. The reason is we tried and we were blocked on every Psychic power we tried to perform. That's why we forgot about it. So Eldrad just shut everything down there, as you can imagine he would. So it's those 2 characters still left to fight, and then we've got the Corvis Blackstar at the Avatar, which is where we're going to start here. So we did move with a heavy weapon. We're hitting on 4s against the Avatar. We get 1 hit, and we're needing 3s to wound. We'll get that wound. He's got invulnerable 5. Does not get it, so D6 damage. Just 2, which we're going to have to just take because we can't afford. We're on our last command point. We can't afford to re-roll it here and now. Or do we? No. Yes, we will. No, we won't. We can't believe it. We're not going to do it. Right. So Avatar needs to do his saves. He's got a Molten Body, which gives him 2 dice to save on 5s up to ignore those wounds. So he ignores 1, so he's just taking a wound. And then we've got the 2 Storm Strike missiles. We do get 1 hit. Needs a 3. Gets it again. Needs a 5. Oh, blocks it outright. Storm Bolters now thought these might just shave the last wounds off them, but now we're going to ask them to do the body of work. 3s to hit. Okay, now 5s to wound against the Avatar. He's a tough old nut. We get 1, 2, 3. So he's saving 3 on 3s. Fails 2 and then saves on 5s. Ignores them on 5s rather. He gets 1 and that's a cock die. Try again. And gets it right. Avatar, he's made of stern stuff.
Yeah, likes to go the long route.
Right, so on to the big drama now. We're going to have Artemis. He's going to throw his stasis bomb. So he hits on a 2. If he hits, it's D6 mortal wounds on Eldrad. So it's pretty severe. It's 6. It's only 1 use only as well. So we're going to hope that he gets it. If he misses on a 1, and even if we reroll and he misses on a 1, he'll suffer D6 mortal wounds himself. So it's volatile. There's a reason why he's got a bionic arm, and that's because he's done it before and almost killed himself. So here he goes. He's going to hit Eldrad with his stasis grenade on a 2, and he's on a 1. Luckily, he's a captain. He's got a built-in reroll 1s for himself. So if he gets another 1 here, we're just going to scream. All right, we do get him. So it's D6 mortal wounds on Eldrad. It's only 2. Do we use our last command point to make that higher? Ooh. Yes. No. Yes. I can't decide. Yes, we're going to do it. We're going to command reroll it. So how many mortal wounds do we do on Eldrad? Be more than 2. Oh, it's going to be another mystery dice. It's 4, so it's double what we got. So that's worth it. All right. So before you roll any dice, let's see if we get that command point back, please. No. Right. We've got no command points left. Eldrad, he's got a special ghost helm, so on a 5+, he's going to ignore these wounds. He ignores mortal wounds on 5+. It's just on tap in the Eldar. So no, 3 wounds taken on Eldrad. He's halfway dead. He himself as well. He's a tough old nut as well. He's got 6 wounds, but he's been halved. Half of him is stuck in that stasis shell.
So half of money.
Right, the librarian. He's going to throw a crack grenade at Eldrad. The Spirit Seer is nearer, but characters can't protect characters these days. So he's going to throw a crack grenade. He's going to need a 3 to hit. Gets it, right. 3's to wound, because strength 6. He gets it. Eldrad saves on invulnerable 3, so he makes that quite comfortably. Right, we're moving straight on to charges for the Deathwatch now. So we charge the 2 characters. Both of them have gone into Eldrad. Artemis takes the scenic route through that archway and meets him in the side. So this unit also charged the Wave Serpent, no damage in Overwatch from either party. So good stuff coming on there. And then with 9 inches, we're asking a 9-inch charge here from the Terminators to the Vipers. We've done the Overwatch, no damage, so we need a 9 to get in on them. It's a long charge, and we get a 5 and a 1. If only we didn't spend that command point. So they don't make it. It was a long shot anyway, but we're back on to the fight over here. So what we'll do is we'll fight with the librarian first, because Artemis has a better chance of surviving. So we'll pull up his profile. Right, so it's worth mentioning as well, the Spirit Seer does do heroic intervention. It was pretty obvious that what's going to happen. So the librarian will fight Eldrad first. So he's got 3 attacks. He's hitting on 3s. He's got all of them. Very well done. Needing 4s to wound because Eldrad is toughness 4. He's made of crystal. Gets 2 wounds on Eldrad. Eldrad's got an invulnerable 3 save. Fails 1. That's D3 damage with the Force Sword. It's the full 3. This is scary stuff for Eldrad now. He needs the not mortal wounds, so he's just got his Foresight of the damage save. Right, he didn't realise the Force Sword was D3 mortal wounds, so I didn't give him a chance to command reroll one of those armor saves. So here we go. He's going to command reroll one of those failed armor saves, and he makes it. So that D3 doesn't stand anymore. So no damage on Eldrad. That could have been dangerous. I could have been him dead, in fact. So are you going to heroically intervene anywhere?
Spirit Seer.
So he's changed his mind. The Spirit Seer will not be intervening in the combat. He doesn't want to spend the command points. So it's back to Artemis then. He's just got a power sword. He's got extremely hard work to do on Eldrad. Here we go. He's hitting on 2s. Rerolls 1s for himself. Okay, and then 4s to wound against Eldrad. Only get 1. It's only a power sword. So just save it on 3s. Saves it anyway, right? That was catastrophic blunder there. No dice, no wounds on Eldrad. So we're going to come over here and do some attacks on the Wave Serpent. Right, so we fought this combat over here. We might as well have not bothered. We didn't do anything to the Wave Serpent. Still got 4 wounds left. Fortune, keeping it alive, and he didn't even need Fortune. He's just getting 6s all the time. So no damage at all there. And over here we're going to have the retaliation of Eldrad. He's going to fight the Librarian, is that right?
Yeah.
So Eldrad fighting the Librarian. He's got 2 attacks and he hits on 2s. Gets them both, and using the Staff of Ulthwe, you are strength 5, so you need it is strength 5, so 3's 2 wounds with the staff. So it gets 2 wounds. This is AP minus 2, so we're saving on 5s with the librarian. Gets 1, fails 1, and it's D3 wounds. So what can you get? 2. So 2 wounds on the librarian, not a good start for him. And now the Spirit Seer will try and clobber him as well. So 2 attacks from him, and he gets 2 hits. Now this guy wounds on a 2 with his witch staff, and he does, right, this is dangerous because it's damage 2 each blow, so I need to save on 3s, and he's failed, right, he's taken another 2 damage. I think that's the librarian dead. Right, so there we are, the librarian's dead. It's just Artemis who stands alone. So I really wish we took a chaplain now. The librarian just didn't do much against the Eldar, just got shut down in the psychic phase, blocked and parried on his sword, and then swiftly dispatched. Right, that's the end of Deathwatch turn 2, so it was looking good in turn 1, and then we faltered in turn 2. Not enough damage done. Didn't take out that Wave Serpent, that's a big blow, and the counter attack will be potent with those Wraith Guard inside. The Avatar is still at large and pretty fresh still, and it didn't get the job done on Eldrad, so we sent out 2 of our best in there, and just couldn't get it done. This squad couldn't get it done on the bikes either, so we faltered majorly in this turn. And the Eldar are looking good for a counter-attack here. All it takes is taking out 2 units in the Deathwatch, and you're on the back foot all of a sudden. Very elite units, any casualties are severely felt. Alright, Eldar turn 2. So they've moved around, but they haven't brought in the Guardians yet. They're still waiting for that Objectives to be revealed, and then the Guardians are going to pounce on it wherever it may be. So the rest of the army moves before that decision's made. So the Vipers, they've come down to here to support the support weapons. These didn't need to take morale check because they're within range of the Avatar, just staying strong. And then the Wave Serpent has dropped back, and the Wraith Guard are out. So these are not to be trifled with. Deadly unit, and we're going to get counter-attacked pretty badly here. I've already seen the death of the Librarian. It's leaving Artemis out in the wind. The 2 characters on their way. They've dropped out of combat, so they're going to use the psychic powers, not shoot or charge anything, but they're not really going to have to because the Avatar has moved. He's strode forward. He's going to add to this combat if he needs to, or he might just lop the head off Artemis. So we've moved on to the psychic phase as well. So Eldrad has already cast Doom on this unit, and he's cast Guide onto the Wraith Guard as well, so they'll be on full maximum death mode. So we're going to smite with Eldrad now, and he's going to have to smite Artemis because he is the nearest, so he needs to pass this. He's got a +1, so he does pass, so it's D3 mortal wounds on Artemis, just 1, and we do have something to do with his Hunter roll. He's got an invulnerable 6 kind of save, well, ignores wounds on a 6 save. And he does it. He just absorbs that smite. His hatred just gets him through. Alright, what's next then? Spirit Seer?
Spirit Seer.
He's going to smite. Here he goes then. Fails the smite. Doesn't have a Ghost Helm to reroll either, so he's
command roll.
Right, command reroll. Right, that does come off this time then. So.
Oh, I'll see if I get a command point at the start of this turn. I've got to do that.
Okay, so Eldrad's Warlord trait doesn't supply another command point. So 2 left for the Eldar for command points, but we still need to resolve these mortal wounds on Artemis, so here he goes. It's a 2, that's what it was, so Artemis needs a double 6 to just grit his teeth, and no, it takes 2 wounds. He's got 5 wounds Artemis, so he's got 3 left. Right, moving into Eldar's shooting phase now, so we're going to open up with the Wraith Guard first. So just to remind you, they've got guides, so they're going to reroll, and they're going to reroll failed wounds because of Doom on this unit. So hitting on 3s with the super weapons. All hit, didn't need fortune, guide in the end. So 2s to wound, and reroll 1s because of guide. Guide Doom, keep getting the ones the wrong way around. So there's 5 solid blows on the Deathwatch. This is going to be awful to take. So we're going to have to take this on the Terminator. He's the only one with an invulnerable save. Here we go. He saves the first one. And he's dead. No, he's not quite. You need to do D6 damage. D6. If you roll a 1, then he might survive, which would be pleasing. Mm-hmm. No, he's dead on 2 wounds. Efficient from the Eldar there. So no more invulnerable saves, so we've lost 3. more. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and force you to roll a 1 here. So we've lost the Terminator. We're going to take the next one on the bike. So you need to roll D6 damage. If you roll a 1, we might be able to keep someone alive. Nope, the bike's dead. And then there's 2 more guys dead. So we've lost him, the bike, and then 2 more guys. So we'll take the power swords, leave the melter guns, in case we pull off some sort of spectacular overwatch. Right, the Bright Lancers are going to have a go. So it's moved with a heavy weapon. It is on its second bracket, so hitting on 5s to try and clean these out. 1 hit, needing a 2 to wound, strength 8, does get it. That's no save available, so we're going to have to lose another guy. So we'll take this guy out of the picture. So just left with the Imperial Fist. How apt.
Shoot.
He's going to stand his ground against the shooting cannon. Gets 1 hit. No, gets 2 hits because it's not a heavy weapon, excuse me. So 3's to wound. Will he stand? 1 wound that you can re-roll. Gets 2. That's a Blade Storm hit, so he's going to need an armor save. And a save of 6 against the Blade Storm. He's made it. Dawn smiles on the Deathwatch guy.
Shot from Eldar.
Eldar can't fire, he's dropped out of the combat.
Oh, yeah.
So we might see a Lord Imperial Fist stand his ground. He's pointing. He's saying he's going to have a name of this. Alright, he's earned the attention of the 2 snipers up here. They're going to try and take him out. He's a stubborn one. Dawn would be pleased. So 1 hit. He's a 4 to wound. Doesn't wound. He's dancing through it all. Oh yeah, he gets Doom on him. Does wound in the end. Needs a 3 to stay alive. Come on. For Dawn. Stays alive.
Oh.
Lovely. Right, we're going to move on to the Avatar now. He's going to do a trick shot with a Wailing Doom behind him. He's going to do it at the flyer, so he needs a 3 to hit. And he's hit, so he needs a 3 to wound. And nothing we can do about that, so it's the best of 2d6.
Shit.
2.
Come on, reroll.
Right, 1 and 2 just simply isn't good enough for the Wailing Doom. He's going to reroll that 1 with a command point reroll. Try to get higher, try to damage this flyer. So here we go. Oh, it's the 6. It's the full 6. 8 wounds left on the Corvis Black Star. It's a good start from the Avatar. Sensing the weakness on the Corvis Black Star, the Vipers have decided to fire up at it. So they've got 2 normal wounds and 1 Blade Storm wound on the Corvis. So we're going to have to save on a 6 on the Blade Storm wound, which we do. That's a good start. And then 3's to save against the ordinary wounds, which we fill 1. So we're down to 7 wounds left on the Corvus. Alright, the support battery was next to go on the Corvus Black Star. Only achieved 1 wound and was saved it luckily, but 7 wounds left is enough to put us on our 2nd tier now. So we're hitting on 4s with the Corvus on the natural ballistic skill now. If we move, we're hitting on 5, so it's as good as crippled. I really wish those planes had Power of the Machine Spirit, but that's where we are at the moment. So we're on the back foot now. The Deathwatch have had a counter attack that has been incredibly punishing. So that's all from the Eldar shooting phase. It's time for charges. Let's see what they can come up with. The Avatar is going to charge in on Artemis, try and kill him. So we're going to do the Hellfire Extremist Flamer, so we're getting 3 shots out of it. And we're wound on 2s because of its special ability. So we've got 3 wounds on the Avatar, he saves on 3s. So he's taking 2 wounds. He needs 5s to save these because of his molten body. Oh, right, we've got the rat firing bolt gun part because you can fire both barrels. Hits once, we're using the round that wounds him on a 2. We'll get him, so he needs to save on 3. He fails it again, and then does he get his molten body? No, we've taken a wound off him. That could have been so much better given how badly he rolled, but that molten body rule just really works well for him. So he's going to charge in, and he's clearly got the distance there, so Artemis is going to have to turn around and go toe to toe with this ancient beast. Right, and now the Son of Dawn will make his last stand. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to do the Hellfire round from the bolt gun, and he's going to do a shot from the melter gun. So in his name, let it be hit. Let it be 6. No, melter gun misses, right, and then there's the bolt gun portion. Gets 1 hit, wounds on 2, does wound, save on 3, saves, right, so the Wraith Guard will go in, and 7-inch charge is more than enough to put them in range of that guy. Right, Artemis, he's going to fight the Avatar now, or the Avatar's going to fight the fight Artemis. It's not going to be much of a fight unless Artemis takes a page out of this brave Imperial Fist book. So 5 attacks for the Avatar, hitting on 2s, gets them all, wounds on 2s now, and gets 4. Artemis is going to have to pray to the Emperor, and he gets some Iron Halo saves here. So he got 3 wounds, Artemis. Here he goes. Wish him well. He saves 2, but 2 go through. Right, it's basically a close range melter gun, so it's the best of 2 dice twice to see how much damage he takes. So you want 2 dice. So the first blow is going to be 5, and the second blow is going to be 6. Right, he's got 11 wounds to save on a 6. Needs to save
Doable.
Whoa, he's given it a good go. He's given it a really good go, but he only had 3 wounds left, and he's dead. Well, he gave it a good go, but it was too little too late. Artemis is now a burnt husk on the floor, and now the Wraith Guard are going to put their Wraith Fists onto the Imperial Fist. Right, here go the Wraith Guard then. They're going to punch the Imperial Fist guy with their Wraith Fists. So they've got 5 attacks amongst them, and they've only hit 3 times. They wound on 3s, but they can re-roll because Doom is still in play. So they've wounded twice, and just twice. So the AP -1, we need a double 4 for Dawn and the Emperor. He lives. He's a better fighter than Artemis. Why didn't we give him some sort of power weapon? He's only got his finger, so he's going to have to use it. So it gives him an extra attack, that finger. He's got 3 attacks. Well, actually mean the combat blade, not his finger, but you know, if you can poke it in the right place, you may bring down a Wraith Guard. So we've hit twice. We'll get 1 wound, saving on 3. Right, it's a stalemate. Right, so that is the end of Eldar's turn. It's been horrific. We've lost lots of good men, but we might lose another good man here. So we've got a morale check to do. He's lost 5 in his unit. He's leadership 8, so we need a 3 to hang on. He's going to go. We can re-roll that with an additional no fear, but he's going to run anyway. So it's a sad end for the Imperial Fist, but he does it because he knows to martyr his life is to open up that squad for shooting from the Deathwatch. So he basically kills himself. That's my interpretation of that. Kills himself to let his battle brothers shoot in on and avenge his death. Okay, it's turn 3 for the Deathwatch. It's time to start revealing these objectives. So we've selected the 3 that we would like to be remaining on the board. So we've selected this one, we've selected this one here, and this one. So it was 1, 2, 3. We've already rolled. I'm just doing this retrospectively. So this one goes away, this one stays, and this one goes away. So we'll try to cover all bases there, given where our teleport homers are. We've got one in the corner here, so that's irrelevant now. We're getting a bit worried about this bike pushing up on it, because if that went, we might not be able to get that objective. This one remains, so we've got a nice strong presence there. But this teleport homer is now key, because we're going to teleport this unit all the way over there. That we'll put over there just to sort of be dynamic, going on any objectives that might have turned up. Going to come down here and reinforce this side from all this nasty Wraith stuff approaching, and defend this objective that we've got here. Right, movement is complete for the Deathwatch. So as promised, the unit is teleported from over there right down to here. So this teleport home now shorts out. We've made sure we're within 6 inches of the Watchmaster, because this is where it all lies. We're still using the Tome of Ectoclades, and we're going for elite units. So everything here, we're going to try and take out these Wraith Guard, because they are a very stubborn unit. So we've got a range of weapons in there. We're going to try and get on these. We've got rapid firing guns in range there. So let's shoe it up here. The Watchmaster is organising it well. And on the other side of this gantry, the other side here, we're going to lead another attack on Eldrad. We need to sever the head of this Ulthwe fighting force. So all these guys got out of the Corvis Blackstar that was here. They've moved in. We've got double frag cannon in there. We're going to try and assassinate Eldrad. We might die in the process, but he's got 3 wounds left. We've got a good chance of smoking him. If we do that, that's a crucial victory point in this game. The Corvis Blackstar's dipped backwards. We didn't really want to move it. It's going to shoot at the avatar, but now that it's there, it's going to make a big denial zone for any of these 20 Guardians coming in. It's going to block them from getting up into this crucial cover here. It's going to force them back into the fringes of the battle. So we set things up as best we can. We just have to hope that the Emperor blesses our dice, because we're going to try and do the ultimate assassination here. Right, we're going to start the shooting phase off. We're going to start with the Venerable Dreadnought. He will be doing double las cannons into the Wraith Guard. So he's hitting on 2s. He did stay still. He's hit them both. Right, 3s to wound against the Wraith Guard. And we do get 1. But because the Tome of Ectoclades is around, we're going to get the reroll 1s against elite units. Let's find out what the actual name of that is. Dominators, there we go, Dominus Tactics. So he's going to reroll 1s to wound. He gets 2 wounds. So 6 is to save on the armour for the Wraith Guard.
2?
Yep. Right, both of them go through, so it's d6 damage each. First one's 3, so you need 3 6s. Not a 1, so 1 is dropped. Second shot is only 2, so 2 6s needed. Gets 1, so just a single wound on 1 las cannon shot. Pretty good going. So 1's dropped and a wound outstanding. This squad now is going to try and rapid fire at these Wraith Guards. So we're using Hellfire rounds to wound on a 2 against these Wraith Guards. And again, we are still within 6 to get rerolls. So hitting on 3s, full rerolls with the Watchmaster. All hit. Right, 2s to wound. Here we go. Reroll 1s because of the chapter tactics with the Tome of Ectoclades. Right, that's all success across the board there. So 5, 10, 12 wounds on the Wraith Guard. So 7 on an armor save of 3. There's no AP on this. If they were Primaris, it would be awful. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds, and then 7 on Ulthwe 6s for Foresight of the Damned. No. Not a 1, right, so 1's dead, and there's 2 wounds left, no, 2 wounds taken off another. Alright, we've got the heavy bolter now. It does class as moving because it came out of the teleporter. So hitting on 4s, get 1 hit, but don't reroll that because we only reroll 1s and 2s with full rerolls before modifiers and such. So strength 5 against toughness 6, needing a 5. It's a hard ask, but we get it anyway. Right, AP minus 1, 7 on a 4. Doesn't get it, needing a 6. And another Wraith Guard guy goes down. He was on his last wound him. Right now it is the assault cannons. We've got dual assault cannons here. Again they're hitting on 4s because they came out of the teleporter. And we can reroll 1s and 2s because of the chapter master. Or the Watchmaster as he's called. So 3 to reroll. And then misses are removed. And then strength 6 here, we're needing 4s to wound. And we're rerolling 1s because of the Tomb of Ectoclades. Right, that's very, very good. We've got 5, 6, 7 wounds to save on 4s for these Wraith Guard. 3, fill.
Oh, it's a minus 1, is it?
Yeah, it's assault cannon. And 6s, not 1. So there's another Wraith Guard killed. Down to 1 left. Pretty good going so far. Right, there's 1 left. We're going to move over here all the heavy bolters and the 3 starter bolters are going to have a go at him now. Starter bolters will be firing Hellfire rounds, wound on it too. So here we go, Hellfire rounds from the bolters. We get rerolls because of the Watchmaster. Okay, and 2s to wound. And reroll 1s because of the Tomb of Ectoclades. Nope. So there's 4 wounds saving on 3s. Fails 2 and then 6s for Ulthwe. 2 wounds, he's on his final wound, and now he's going to get absolutely hosed down by quadruple heavy bolters. Alright, heavy bolters at dawn. Surely we can shave this last wound off. 3s to hit, and re-rolling because of the Watchmaster. Okay, right, no special ammunition for these. They're going to have to take the hard road. It's 5 to wound, but re-rolling 1s because of the Tomb of Ectoclades. Oh, right, so we've only achieved 2 wounds. Only need 1 to succeed, so he needs to save 2 on 4s. He's failed 1, now he needs a 6 to stay alive, otherwise he is committed to the earth. Yes, he's gone. Died for a second time, that Wraith construct. So, it's clear out, it's good work. The Weird Serpent's still alive. It still is a problem, but I think we've fended off the future attack on this big Deathwatch. Right, we'll move on over to here. We're going to try the assassination of Eldari Ulthwe. So we're going to fire a crack grenade first from one of the jump packs. He's missed. Not a good omen. We're going to do the 2 Deathwatch shotguns. I think the round we're going to use, it's going to be Xeno Purge Slug. It's assault 2, put in half range, it's damage 2. I think this is the right thing to do. Here we go, hitting on 3s. Okay, we've hit thrice. 4s to wound against Eldari. We've wounded twice. Need to save on 3s. He's failed them both. Right, these are 2 damage 2 each, so you need 4. 6 saves because of the foresight of the downed rule. So you need 4. 6. Doesn't get any. Right, Eldari is just being killed with the shotguns. So there we go. Then Eldari is dead. That's Warlord kills. That's a crucial point in this game. But that means we've wasted all of our other shots, because we've dedicated every single shot to Eldari. We just could not have him live. Seems a bit silly now, because we've got frag cannons that could have taken on the Avatar, but you know, we couldn't allow Eldari to survive. Every time I've tried to kill him, he's just slipped through my fingers, not this time.
So slugs.
Right, we're going to move on to the Corvis Blackstar. He's going to fire at the Avatar. If we can just get him out of our hair, we think we might have this one in the bag. So we're hitting on 5s because we moved and we're damaged. So las cannons, 5s to hit. We do get 1, that's good news. 3s to wound. No, don't have any command points to reroll. Storm Strike missiles, we achieve 1 hit. And no wound, oh dear. Right, and then Hurricane Bolters, let's see what. Right, Hurricane Bolters had a go at the Avatar, but no damage, just it's just hovering there, just waiting for its ultimate demise. So we're going to charge with the Deathwatch here. We're going to go into the Spirit here, just behind there. He's only toughness 3. I'm sure we can polish off another Psyker there. We're not even going to chance, we're not even going to look at the Avatar. We're just going to turn our backs to him and just let him kill us in due time, but we're not going to give him the extra turn to try and do it by charging him. So Spirit he's got a pistol. He's a 6. Doesn't get it right, so we're going to go in on an easy charge of 8. We're going to surround him and just wipe the floor. Right, so the Deathwatch have moved in, surrounded the Spirits here. We've already done our attacks, so lots of lightning claws in there, lots of combat blade attacks. So we've left him with 12 wounds to try and make his way through. So he's got a 4 invulnerable saver he's going to have to take on every single attack. And he's filled 1.
He's dead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's only filled 5. He is dead, but unless you get Farsight the Damned saves on 6s, so you need more than 1, you need 2 to stay alive.
2 6s.
He's got 1 and then failed on 4. I don't know how you ended up rolling that under the crane, but you have. But he's dead, there's 4 wounds. Deathwatch have their wicked. So yeah, Spiritia is no more. We're not going to consolidate because we don't want to get close to the Avatar. It's just not worth it. And that concludes the Deathwatch turn. So that is a point for slaying the Warlord. Nice. Turn 3 for the Ulthwe forces, grieving over the loss of their warlord. We're going to try and make the retaliation swift and deadly. So, before they do anything, we've rolled to see which objective is the most important objective for them. So it was a D3 roll. There's one objective, there's the other, and the other one's just behind the Corvis Black Star. So they rolled a 2, which ended up being this one. So this objective goes away, and this objective goes away. It's not the one that they wanted. Well, it's definitely not. Didn't want that one, but this is the one that they wanted. Nice, safe and sound, but it's in the open, so they're going to have to protect it. So the Deathwatch could... There is a way, if they just survive, to come in and get there. So the Eldar have sent in the Guardians from reserve. They came down from the portal, and they're going to defend that objective, because if any of these survive, they could objective secure anything over here. So they're just trying to stamp this out and protect their own objective. I did think about putting them on the other side of the board, but the retaliation from the Deathwatch would be swift and merciless, and they'd probably lose all of his Guardians in the end and not get that objective, and possibly even lose his own. So he's reinforcing himself over here. The Vipers are ready to go. Guardians are ready to go. These are still ready to go. And the Avatar is going to try and deal with this unit himself. And then all of the Shuriken weapon are going to try and take out the Corvus Blackstar, possibly. The Wave Serpent still lives on. He's going to contribute. He hasn't moved, so he's going to be hitting on 4s with his Bright Lance if he needs to. And then all the way down the line here, this jet bike that I knew if it survived it would cause problems. He's hiding behind this tower. He's ready to jump out to get line breaker when the time comes. And he is within 9, so this teleport home now shorts out. So he, as predicted, has become a problem. So, probably going to lose more brave Deathwatch guys here, but we've forced the Eldar back into their own lines. Right, there's no more psychics anymore. We've slain those witches. So the Avatar is going to open up the shooting phase. He's going to do the Will and Doom on the flyer again, see if he can get another quality hit on it. So hit on a 2 because it is hovering, gets that hit. Needs a 3 to wound. Gets that wound on a 4, right? It's 2 dice, pick the best. It's only got 7 wounds left. There's another 6 off it, right? It's on its last wound, the Corvus Blackstar. It was just that easy. So Corvus is crippled in the air and just clinging on to life. Right, we've got the Guardians. They're going to fire. Since the Corvus is on its last wound, they've got 7 firing at the Corvus, and then the rest of them are in range to fire at the Deathwatch unit here. So there's 14 shots going at the Corvus. It's on its last wound. It's very likely that this will crash and burn. Here we go. 4. No, it's hitting on 3s because it's hovering. And not the greatest roll anyone's ever seen. 5s to wound now, but the glory of shooting weapons is if you roll any 6s, that's as good as dead. Gets 1 5 and 1 6. So it's give us a window to try and stay alive here. So here we go. Needing a 6 to save on the Blade Storm. Nope. Let's see if we save the other. No. So flyer goes down. Does it explode? Does not explode. So that's going to go down in a heap of scrap. Right. The rest of the shooting catapults have fired at the Deathwatch, and it's been a savage encounter. These are the wounds. So there was 5 Blade Storm hits, and then these are ordinary wounds. So we're going to save the Blade Storm, or hopefully we'll save the Blade Storm on the 6s. No, so we've lost 5 already, and then these are on armor saves of 3. And that was pretty good. We've only filled 1 of those, so we've lost 6 actually. That wasn't too bad. Alright, so after that savage encounter, there's only 2 Deathwatch veterans left. They've both got frag cannons though, so still that charge is looking a bit nervous from the Avatar. So to clear the way, they're going to fire the Vipers at them. So 12 shots, hitting on 3s. That's a good amount of hits there. And 3s to wound, 6s are basically terminal. So 3s. And there's a 6 already, and then there's 4 wounds to save, so we'll do the 4 wounds first. Okay, they're both dead straight away. So frag cannons are gone, our whole squad is being wiped out. So special ammunition is good, shuriken weapons clearly better. Right, this Wave Serpent is the last thing to fire. It's going to fire at this veteran squad here. So what are you firing first?
Shurikens.
So shuriken catapult or cannon. It's hit twice. There's a 6 behind there, so 3s to wound. Doesn't get any, right? And then the Bright Lancers hitting on 4s because it stood still. double miss. Okay, Deathwatch, continue. Right, the artillery from behind the wall is fired over onto this squad, try and take down a few more. Scored pretty well, they've got 5 wounds and a blade storm. So we'll do the blade storm first, we're going to put it on this Terminator. So he's going to save on a 5. Note he takes a wound, and then he's going to save the rest on 2s. Saves. He's dead. That's tragic. We're hoping he would save that last wound, and then we're going to have to do the other wounds on this Terminator. We should have put them on the other guys. Right, Terminator, he's going to save on 2s. And the last one to save, he's taking a wound. Oh no, what have we done? Almost lost our Terminators. That's pretty stupid. Right, so that is the end of the Aeldar's turn. I'm still reeling from the silly decision that I made there. So we've got no points for them that round, but the Deathwatch squad from around that corner has just been completely eradicated. We've had a flyer go down, but now the territory, the line has been drawn. We've got the Deathwatch still on this side, the Eldar on that side. We've both had our skirmishes going through, but now they've been defined. It's now the end of turn 3, going up to turn 4. Alright, so for the Deathwatch, we're not really going to move a lot, or even at all. It's just a few bits of shuffling going on here. We've got the bite on this side, but we've still got range on this Wave Serpent. If we can just shave off one more wound, it'll be on its last bracket of health. So, and if we can just kill it, that'll be even better. It's got 4 wounds left. Made the job even harder for ourselves by killing ourselves in assault camp for some reason. That was going to chalk that one up to battle fatigue. But everything else is going to try and fire at the Guardians across the way. Got the Dreadnought stayed still, we've just turned him for visual purposes. He's going to have a go at the Vipers. So for the Tome of Ectoclades, he will be picking against fast attack to reroll 1, so the Dreadnought can have a better chance of hurting the Vipers. Okay, so with us happy with our spot and where we are on the victory point scene, we're just trying to blow the Eldar away the best we can. So we did fire with this squad first at the Wave Serpent, only achieved 1 wound on it, and it was enough to put it on its last bracket now. So it's got 3 wounds left. We feel a little bit better about our situation. And the Dreadnought fired through onto the Viper around the corner there, took 4 wounds off it. It's got 2 left, one of those Vipers, but they're still in good working order. And then we fired this whole bastion of death here. Heavy bolters and 1 starter bolter at the Guardians, killed 8 in total I think. And then we did 2 starter bolters at the Avatar, took 2 wounds off him as well, so it's been pretty fruitful. We're damaging the Eldar, they're slowly starting to dwindle now, and they're just going to have to take it to us if they want to win the game. We've already got 2 points, we've got First Blood and Warlord kill, and we've got our own objective, as has the Eldar. They've got a line breaker slowly creeping around the sides, not much we can do about that, but we are still 1 point ahead. It's all down to the Eldar to do some work here, because we will win the game if the game is just continues this way. Alright, it's Eldar turn 4, and they are feeling the pressure, trying to make way into getting the Deathwatch objective in the backfield there, so they feel like it's probably too late for them, so they're trying the best they can. So the Guardians, they've moved out, they've advanced a little bit. The Avatar isn't actually there, he's here. You just can't get under with his big plume of hair. So he's actually there, but he's taking cover. He's trying to keep these in line with his morale boosting ability. Still these fight on in the backfield. The Wave Serpent is now crippled on its last bracket, but the ones who are going to do the fighting is the two Vipers. They've flown up here. They're going to have to return fire on the Deathwatch Castle of Doom. Alright, so the Vipers, 12 shots into the heavy bolter castle. So we're hitting on 3s. It's quite... okay, well it's pretty bad then. It's about 6 hits there. 3s to wound. And what are we looking at?
3, 6.
Right, so there's 6 wounds. And unfortunately, no Blade Storm amongst them. So because we are in our Tower of Power, we've got 2+ save. Here we go. Hopefully there's no mishaps. No, it's a clean sweep. No one dies, everyone lives.
Battery.
Okay, they're going to do the artillery now. Behind the boxes has chimed in. Good work from them. There's been 5 wounds and 2 Blade Storm style wounds. So these are horrible stuff. So we're saving on 6s with the Blade Storm. Okay, we've lost 2. We're going to have to take those on the Stalker bolters. We'll take one from this side, one from the other side. Just can't reach him yet. And then 2 to save on the regular hits, and we'll save all of those. Right, so we've only lost 2 in that crowd. Alright, the stubborn Wave Serpent in the corner has just still been a nuisance. Missed with all the shots from the shooting cannon, but 1 Bright Lance has caused a wound, so we're going to need to save on a 6. We're going to take this on a heavy bolter. Just don't want to lose our sergeant. So yeah, heavy bolter goes down. Which brave soul? That's going to be him. Nothing personal. Somebody's got to go. Alright, the snipers have fired. 1 missed, 1 hit. They've got a 6 to wound, so that means it's a mortal wound. So 1 is dead, and then it's a save of... No, we've lost another one. So we've lost 2 to the snipers. That's devastating. We've only got the sergeant left and a single heavy bolter. That is catastrophic news for the Tower of Power. So that's it from shooting from the Ulthwe. It's been horrendous in the Tower of Power, just losing an odd marine from here and there and everywhere, and that sniper shot was really unwelcome. So we've lost 5, we've still got our sergeant, so leadership 9, and we pass our morale. So we will hold, but we're down to 1 heavy bolter and a stalker bolter, so it's all of a sudden a different scene. Alright, it's turn 5 now. It's a different scene for the Deathwatch. We've got to defend our objective with all of our might. We've just lost everyone in the tower just about. We've only got 2 of those guys left. Try to advance this squad around the building and only got a 1 on our advance roll. We're still there just about. We've got this jump pack guy there, this one there, and then the biker in tow. And then the rest of the squad's just trying to pile in behind. The Dreadnoughts had to take a step back just so we can get a shot up at these Venoms, fighters, because they're causing a problem. And this annoying Wave Serpent will live on. There's nothing we can do to shoot at that this turn, so it's just getting pretty frustrating now. We've got the Eldar coming in to take our objective. Got this jet bike that's coming in. It's just the story of the scene here. We've got 2 things on different wings that we just couldn't kill, and now it's coming back to hurt us. So we're going to have to wish for a good shooting phase here. We're going to need to take out at least 1 Viper to make this a very, very short shooting phase. We've just had heavy bolter on the move, shoot at this nearest Viper, didn't take it out. The stalker pattern bolter did well, but then it had 1 wound left and would have nothing else to fire, so we had to commit a double last kind of shot just to take out that Viper on the last wound. But we have killed the Viper. It didn't explode, but it's just not enough. We're just trying to get on our objective now, and the Eldar are closing in. So over to the Eldar. Ulthwe turn 4, the pressure is on for the Deathwatch. They've got massive charges, massive advance moves. So the Guardians are all the way down there. The Avatar, he's advanced as well, but he's got battle focus, so he's going to be able to shoot. Can't charge though. And the Viper down there's moved down there. He's going to get some shots in. The jet bike has disappeared all the way over into the corner of the board. So still these to shoot. They've just been a nuisance all game, as has this. And that's what the Eldar do, just be nuisances all the way till the end. So we've lost pretty much all of our firepower. We're just literally hanging on to our objective by the skin of our teeth. And there's only a couple of guys. There's only this squad left. There's 2 guys at the front, and the Dreadnought and the Watchmaster. And we've got to defend our objective against this conga line of Xenos filth. Right, the Eldar have fired with the Venom first at the weakened heavy bolter squad. There's only 2 guys left. They've got 3 wounds. No Blade Storm luckily, so we're saving on 2s in cover. And we'll lose another one, so it's going to have to be the heavy bolter. We've only got the Sergeant left now. That really wasn't cool, losing 1 guy. Alright, the Guardians are forced into splitting the fire just to try and get as much as they can. 2 guys fire at the starter bolter guy. He doesn't get hit, he survived. And then 3 of them fire at this team here. 2 wounds, but not Blade Storm. We're going to have to take them on the Terminator because he's already got a wound, so please don't die. Oh, he's dead. Rolled a 1. Ah! Right, we're going to have to save on a bolter now, so let's save on a 3. Gets it, right. Really bad at saving Terminator saves. Right, the Wave Serpent, just 1 pipe down, chimed in with 2 shooting cannon shots, 2 hits, 2 wounds, no Blade Storm, so we're going to have to take these on just the basic guys. So we're going to have 3+, no, we've lost 1, next one, saves. Right, so we're losing guys that we can't afford to lose to trivial firepower from stuff that should be dead. And I got 2 Bright Lances from it, and these are hitting on 5 still, so if these hit, there'll just be no justice. 1 miss, and what is that?
3.
A 3. So the Bright Lances missed, and I think there's just the Avatar left to fire because he's got battle focus and he still can't fire. So what's he going to do?
Well, we've got snipers and we've got battery as well.
Right, so the Avatar.
So Avatar is going to fight the Dread.
Right, so the Avatar hits on a 3 because he advanced, and he's missed. That is a big relief. Rolled a 1.
2 snipers.
Right, 2 snipers at the Dread.
No, the guy who's in the building.
Right, so as I suspected, the snipers can't actually see the guy they wanted. There is that big building in the way, but they're going to fire at the Dreadnought instead. So if they pull off a good performance like they did the last time, it could be worrying. So 2 hits on a 6. We don't want to see that again. Oh my word! Right, it's all coming in for the Eldar now. 1 save on a normal save of 3, which we make, and then there's a mortal wound, and there's also an ordinary wound. So we need to save another ordinary wound, we fail, and then the mortal wound and the ordinary wound that were failed, we've got venerable rule, which allows us to save on 6s, which we don't get. Terrible. Okay, so Dreadnought down to 6 wounds left. The pressure is on. Alright, we're getting more harassment from the artillery behind the boxes, dropping in on the big squad of Deathwatch. So they've achieved 4 normal wounds and 1 Blade Storm wound. We've been assigned the Blade Storm wound to save first. So we're going to take it on this guy, and he's got a Storm Shield. Please save on a 3. He's saved. Right, he's going to have to take the rest of them as well. So 3s. Right, he's died, unfortunately. But there is 1 left, and he is still on the objective. He's got a Storm Shield, but this unit is taking a kicking, unfortunately. And that is the end of the Eldar for shooting, and we've lost 3 out of that unit. So we've still got our Sergeant intact, and we pass our morale, so we will hold. We've lost good models this round, and the Avatar is approaching. The Dreadnought is on 6 wounds left. They're closing in. The game ends on a 1 or a 2. Do you want to roll the dice?
Not really, but here we go.
It continues, right, so the Deathwatch will try and survive. Here we go. Right, so it's become a swift movement phase because it's got nothing left. Right, so the Dreadnought's move forward. He's going to try and tangle with the Avatar if worse comes to worse. We've got the Deathwatch unit, they've moved around the front, and then the fast movers have come all the way around the sides of the bikes just to keep coherency, and we've still got this Stalker Bolter guy left. The Watchmaster, he's going to reveal himself. He's closer to the action than he wants to be, and we're going to have to take down this Avatar. So he's got 4 wounds left, the Avatar. We're going to try and take him down with Infernal Hellfire rounds. So we're going to open up with the Chapter Master first. Hellfire rounds, 2 shots at rapid fire range. Whoops. He's got them both. Also, it's also worth saying for the Tome of Ectoclades, we've chosen reroll 1s for HQs. So anyone within 6 is going to reroll 1s for HQs. Just to reiterate. So Hellfire rounds against some wound on 2s. We get them both. It's AP -1 because it's a Master Crafted Bolter. So he's saving on 4s. He's filled them both, and it's 2 damage each. So 4 dice, and he needs to do his molten body of 5s.
It didn't take much to... Oh.
He's saved 3. They just won't die. He's taken a single wound. He's got 3 wounds left.
No, he wasn't lucky there.
Right, we're going to do this Stalker Bolter guy, this solo Stalker Bolter guy. He's going to fire into the Avatar with the same kind of round. Rerolls 1s because the Watchmaster is with him. 2s to wound. Rerolls 1s with the Tome of Ectoclades in play. We got 2 wounds. Again, it's AP -1. So saving 4s for the Avatar.
Oh.
He's filled them both. Yeah. Right, you need 5s again if you get these. It's just, there's no justice. He gets 1, fills 1. The Avatar's got 2 wounds left. Will he die? Alright, we're going to have to pump more shots into the Avatar. We're going to do all the bolt guns, and the heavy flamer though is going to go into the Guardians, but we're going to do all bolt guns into the Avatar with the Hellfire round. Not the Hellfire round, it's the one that wounds on 2. So here we go. Right, it's a good job. We've got the Chapter Master there. Right, hit all but 1. It's a good start. 2s to wound on the Avatar. He's only got 2 wounds left. Let's make it happen. Reroll 1s because of the Tome of Ectoclades. Weird dice. Okay, we've got all of them. So that is 9 wounds. And there's no AP on these, so you just save it on a straight 3. He's filled 1, 2. That's all it takes. 5s to save him. He's filled them both. The Avatar has gone down. Avatar has gone down. Beautiful stuff. Right, we've got the heavy flamer as promised at the Guardians. This is now changing the tide. 4 shots, and then we get 2 wounds on them, so it's saving on 6s, and then a 6 again. So just 1 dies. And then the Dreadnought, he's going to fire his heavy flamer at the Guardians and the double las cannon at that Wave Serpent. So the double las cannon at the Wave Serpent. Oh, he's missed, but he gets to reroll 1s because he's next to the captain. So he's hit, needs a 3 to wound. Gets a wound, need a 6 to save on the... Ah, just won't die. Just die. And then the heavy flamer on the Guardians. 6. It's more like it. 3s. Okay. Okay. So, in fact, yeah, we'll reroll 1s because he would have the initial mission tactic, which is Fury Tactics. Oh, well, he's done it. He's stuffed it anyway. Right, so there's 5 wounds, saving on 6s because it's a heavy flamer. Fills them all, and then 6s to do the special Ulthwe save. So 4 more drop. Okay, that's all we can do for shooting. It's been a good round. We took down the Avatar. We've damaged the Guardians. There's nothing we can do over here with these 2. There's a bike right in the corner, but the Venom's going to go untouched. Dreadnought's done well. We're going to ask him again for another favour. He needs a 6-inch charge to get in on the Guardians. Here he goes. He's made it on a 7. The Guardians will overwatch. We didn't do that yet, so let's see what he goes to Dread, and he didn't take any damage from the overwatch. So he's got 4 attacks to hit these Guardians. He's hitting on 2s because he's a star man. He's hit them all. Wounds on 2s. Whoops. Wounds on 2s. Gets them all. So that's 4 Guardians, and they've got to save. It's damage 3, so they've got to do 3. 4 times they've got to do 3 saves each. So the first one has survived with an extra dice. So then the third one needs 3 dice.
Well, 3 dice, is it?
Yes.
That's already one roll.
That's only one roll, you rolled one too many. So the next one. Right, he's dead. And then next one. He's dead. And then the next one. He's dead. Right, so it turns out we only killed 3 in the end. I'm not sure if he was just taking the piss there, right? Rolling 4 dice and getting 4 6s. But that's 3 more on the pile of dead. So that's 8 dead so far in this turn for the Guardians. And they're going to have to take a nasty morale check. The Avatar's down. There's no more hiding behind him for the morale.
No.
Yeah. So here we go. Morale check for the Guardians. What is that? It's a 4. So there's only 4 left. Is that the squad wiped?
We lost 5, 6, 7, 8. Got a morale of 7.
Okay, just done a quick check. I thought the Guardians were leadership 8, but they're actually 7. So they're definitely gone. And that is... they've run away from their own objective. That's catastrophic events. The Dreadnought has performed a miracle before our eyes. Eldar's still got to turn up the sleeve. They still could cause some troubles with the Viper here, and of course this... I don't know what this Wave Serpent's going to do. Whatever it does, it just keeps on killing things. So it's over to the Eldar, but I think the Deathwatch might have claimed that at the end. Right, so just when you think the Eldar's luck has run out, they go and roll a 6. So this has ran all the way over here to get to this objective. Needed a 6, otherwise they wouldn't be able to secure their own objective. But of course, Eldar like that. They like rolling 6s. So there he is, claimed his own objective. And again, it's another round of can we put up with all the Eldar shooting. So we've got the artillery going in. We've got still this Wave Serpent who won't die. He's going to shoot in. And the Viper over here moved from the back. He's now on the objective. He's not holding it. If you can kill all those Deathwatch, then he might be able to take it. It's a long ask. It's a hard ask. But it might be able to start with this Wave Serpent then. It's going to shoot at the big squad. So shooting catapult hitting on 5s. What do we get? It's missed 2, missed all of them. Right now 2 Bright Lancers, needing 5s. Gets 1 hit, and the heart sinks. Needs a 2 to wound, and kills a Deathwatch guy. So we'll take that on the Storm Shield if he wasn't the only one holding this objective. So we're just going to have to take that on a regular gunner. So it's going to be this guy at the front.
2 guns coming
in fact, no, it's not going to be him. It'll be the Space Wolf guy. Right.
2 guns.
Right, 2 artillery guns on them. So how many shots? Please be low. It's a 7. It's average. So hitting on 3s. Right, 2 drops. So it's 5 hits. Needing 3s. Gets 3 hits and a Blade Storm hit. Terrible news. Right. So, do you want the Blade Storm first or the Armour save?
Blade Storm.
Right, Blade Storm saving on 6. No, so we've lost 1. Be him. And then we've got 3 Armour saves to make. Fail 1, so that's going to be the Dart Angel, unfortunately. Hit, killing Dart Angels, but alright. Just
2 snipers.
2 snipers. So we've got 1 sniper firing at the Dreadnought, 1 sniper firing at this squad here, because you can see the bike. So that one is the Dreadnought, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then on needs a 5 against the Dreadnought. Okay, so it's another mortal wound on the Dreadnought and an armour save. Saves the armour save, and then we need the 6 for the mortal wound. No, it takes another mortal wound. He's got 5 wounds left, the Dreadnought. Those snipers are just torturing him.
Bike.
And then on the bike, gets a hit, gets a wound, needs to save on a 3. Don't. So it's going to be another squaddy down. We're going to take this guy because we need to keep our bike alive.
Okay, so the Viper.
So the Viper, who's the Viper going to fire at?
He's going to fire at the main squad there.
So the main squad. So 6 shots. He's going to need 3s to hit. He's got 4 hits. 3s to wound. Gets them all. And a Blade Storm. Right, it's just Eldar, just can't be stopped now. So what do you want first? The Blade Storm?
Yep.
Or, right, Blade Storm, I'm going to save on a 6. No, so there's the bike, he's taking a wound. And then 2 wounds on, Yeah, 2 wounds. Well, on the bike first. Saves. 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 Right, so the bike's left with 1 wound remaining. Right, the Eldar have run out of shots now, so it's onto assault phase. The Viper has had to charge in against this single guy here. He did get a hit with some vengeance rounds, but saved on a 6, so it's just still getting 6s. And he's got 1 attack to kill 1 Marine.
6.
Needs a 6 to hit, so why not? Not to 1. So he's missed, and then he is the sergeant of the squad, and he has got a combat blitz. He's got 3 attacks back, and he rerolls misses because of the Watchmaster on the other side. 5s to wound. We get 3 wounds, saving on 3s. He's failed 1, needs a 6, and fails that one. So he's down to 5 wounds left, this Viper. Alright, so that is the end of the combat phase, and there's a morale check to do on this large squad, or formerly large squad. There's only the bike left on a wound, and the jump pack guy, and we've lost 4 this round, so leadership 9? No, not leadership 8, but we've passed on a 4. So we'll hang in there for another turn possibly. So does the game end?
What does it end on?
So it continues on a 4.
3.
And so the game ends, mercifully ends. I'm not sure if we could put it with another round, but we still hold this objective because these are objective secured troops, so it's going to cancel out the Viper. So we still hold this one for 3 points. You roll to get onto that with an advance roll, incredible roll, which allows you to take that one back. So it's 3 each. The Eldar do have Line Breaker, but the Deathwatch have Warlord Kill and First Blood. So the Deathwatch win it by 1 point, and they almost got tabled. Couldn't get closer than that. Hairy, scary stuff. Right, we're doing units of the game, so for the Deathwatch, it's got to be this squad here. All the other Deathwatch squads didn't really perform brilliantly, but this squad just sat there in cover and just hosed everyone down. So with the coupling of the Watchmaster, he was just awesome to stand there giving everyone rerolls. The Dreadnought, he was a star as well. The Eldar, I'm going to give it to this Wave Serpent, the one that just refused to die, and the Vipers were good as well, just getting everywhere, supplying a lot of shots, mobility, harassment, everything that you'd want.